if you do, it's probably to here and you're probably in the right place. Decision making and action taking became second nature. Like I was at home, like I finally found my people. But to know about finances and to know how the economy works regarding finances in Dubai, they already teach trading curriculum. And a lot of, to their children, are you a leader? And it's okay if you've never led anybody, but do you think like a leader? And you're in the right place.
Hi, Christine.
Hey.
Thank you so much for coming on today. I'm so grateful. I just want to say really quickly, just in general, how grateful I am for you in my life. I know that you may not even realize how impactful you are into me, into my life, into my world. Literally your social media posts, honestly, all your classes, and even like you, when I'm having questions at any time of the day, you'll hop on a call with me and you'll get me through whatever problem it is, like mindset, trading, finances. I'm truly grateful. And what you've done for the team, like it's pretty remarkable. Like every single one of my students that has gone through your classes, they're excelling. They're either starting on their MT4 demos and they're making money there, or they've been making money on their live accounts. And so thank you. You're an angel. And I'm so excited to have you on this interview.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for your time. Oh my gosh. Thank you.
So I know that you're kind of a powerhouse, Mama. You do a lot of things, right? You're an investor. You invest in cryptos, you invest in Forex. I know there's other things that you invest in, which I want to tap into. Education on. You're a financial educator, right? So you talk to us every Saturday and Sunday, no matter what, you show up and you educate our team and you bring value. Like I have people that it's really for intermediate, they say basics, intermediate classes, but I have people who have started with you when they were in their basics that are watching you 7, 8, 9 months later, just because you bring so much value to the table.
Thank you.
And incredible mentor. And I know there's more that you do. So I wanted to just dive a little bit deeper. We got to meet in person, luckily. And
yes.
That was
so fun.
I know. Next time you got to come to our next little
meet,
right?
Yes, I will see you guys in January.
Okay. Heck yes. So we got to talk and I got to know a little bit more about you, and that you haven't always been the person that I see sitting in front of me. And it's mind blowing, because you even said like teaching was out of your comfort zone. And I'm just mind blown by this, because you're so good at it. So I kind of wanted to know who you were before you started the academy and before you started this mentorship, and your transformation, like all of it. How are you the person you are today, and how has the mentorship kind of helped you become that person?
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. The person I was before, I would have to I could tell you, but it's hard to believe. I'll start from 2019. So 2019, my husband and I went through a horrible separation, an abrupt separation, and I never saw him again. And it was traumatic, to say the least. And I went through a very serious depression, but it was weird because I was in depression, but I started pushing myself more at the same time. So it was like kind of super weird. And, I had in my marriage, I was depressed and I had ballooned up to almost 400 pounds. I still to this day don't have an exact amount I weighed, but I was definitely almost in a size 30 pants, in women. So that's like a size, 60 in men. And I was just suicidal. I really didn't want to be here anymore. It was just really bad. And I went to church at this church event and I found out about trading. And the people who were there were very kind. But I stopped. It wasn't really the team, for me, they acted like if they would show you how to trade, it was going to somehow hurt their wallet or their pockets. And so I really left in 2019. And then I met somebody in 2020 who was telling me that this lady, Kim Torres, was an educator in IM Academy and that she was opening up her mentorships. I'm like, okay, well, I wanted to get back into trading anyway. Trading never left my mind. And the reason is because trading always made sense to me. I understand trading is not a new concept to me. And I just was like, if I could know how to trade for myself, that would make more sense because I'm currently getting licensed to be able to educate and transact into mutual funds and other financial vehicles. So I'm like, okay, there are traders who trade inside of your 401k, they trade inside of your Roth. So why don't I just learn how to trade for myself? I think that would be cool. So I joined the mentorship July 2020, and I started. They had classes at night, and so with my depression, I was sleeping during the day, or I was at work barely, kind of, but I could not sleep at night. So I was like, "Ooh, this is cool. Let me just get on these calls." And I looked, and it was like literally me and Brian or me and David at night times. I think David would come on at like 1 a.m. I can't even remember back then. And Brian would come on at like 3 a.m. And people were friendly. So they started being like, oh, hey, Christine, hey, I see you're there again. And I noticed that when we were talking about trading, I not only was I not depressed during those Zoom calls, but I was engaged and I was understanding the information. And it made sense. And one day I had the courage to like unmute myself and ask David a question. That was the first time I ever spoke, in the mentorship or to anybody. And David was like, oh yeah, great question. So it was encouraging rather than other platforms I had came from. And this is not even trading. We're talking about corporate environments. We're talking about everywhere where kind of, if you ask a question, it's unprofessional or you should know that information or blah, blah, blah. And so I was welcomed to ask questions, and honey, from there it was on. And then, so that was in July. And then in August, Corey Patterson had a meetup for people in Atlanta for us to go to Stone Mountain. And I'm like, Stone Mountain, if you guys don't know, Stone Mountain is 2 miles high. Okay, it's 2.5 miles straight up, climbing up a mountain. And I mean, firefighters go there to train, NBA, NFL teams go there to train. It's like, yeah. And so I'm like, okay, I know I'm 400 pounds. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I had the worst anxiety. I didn't sleep. But I wanted to meet my team. And again, it was like with trading, when I would normally hide in another situation with my trading team, all of that just went out the window. So I went, the next day. The day before I went and I got me a cute outfit. I showed up the next day and I was so embarrassed. And I think Corey knew I was embarrassed. And he said, well, you can just meet us at a later time. That way we'll be coming down the mountain and you could just meet us halfway, And so I feel like Corey understood, even though he had never seen me. And so I went and everybody was so welcoming, so kind. And it felt like I was at home, like I finally found my people. And that day I made a decision to get back gastric bypass surgery. And it was like, because I said to myself, this is so dumb. I have people that love me, that want to be around me. And the only thing that was holding me back from being with my team the whole day was my weight, because I couldn't make it up the mountain. So I said, let me just get gastric bypass, then I could be with my team anytime. And it sounds so simple, but it was a big life decision. And it was something I was really putting off for 2 years. And in that instant, I made the decision, and then decision making and action taking became second nature. And so that just transpired, and I got the surgery a month later, and then was in Miami with the team. And I was nibbling on soup because I had just got the surgery. But I was there, and the team was so welcoming. I met people that still to this day I call on the phone and talk to, and I've never had a community like that. I've never had a community like this. And I'm just blessed. So that's how I became that person and transpired into that person. But it was literally just me saying I wasn't rejected when I chose to show up at an event 400 pounds heavy, hot outside. That was the first time I ever wore a two-piece. So I had a two-piece workout outfit on. Yes, I just was like, I don't know who I thought I was.
Whatever. That's awesome.
But I was embraced and I was loved. And so that just gave me the permission to be myself. And then when we went to Miami, I was greeted with love. Like people I didn't know ever before picked me up from the airport. We came to an Airbnb that our mentor had got for us. She did not ask anybody for money. And I was embraced and loved. Like I had never, ever, ever been in an environment like that. And it was like people, like I had known them my whole life. Like I'm hugging people like, oh my gosh, this is you. Hey, we talk on Zoom all the time. And it was like a family reunion. And it was just really, it was me being embraced to be the true Christine that I am. And really my team gave me permission to be who I am. And I know you don't need anybody else's permission, but they gave me that validation that I've been needing for 27 years. And I got it. And now really can't nobody tell me nothing, to be honest.
I know she's loud, she's here, she wants to help. Like, my gosh, I can't even.
It wasn't me a year ago.
It's crazy. I'm so grateful that you went to church and you found this person and the whole path kind of carved itself out. Because again, the people that you empower every week, every day, I can't even imagine how many people you're reaching out to. It's remarkable. I mean, you're teaching now and you're doing a lot of things. Do you have long-term goals set in mind, or what's kind of your path right now? Do you want to just continue teaching? What's your vision?
You know what? Teaching has been a hidden talent that I just discovered. So I would say yes, teaching is definitely something that I want to continue to do. And honestly, I did not want to be a teacher. And people would push me, people in the mentorship like, Christine, the whole mentorship needs to hear this, or Christine, we really need you. We're hearing good things about you. But honestly, I'm gonna be honest, it was out of obedience to God why I started teaching, because I felt a real conviction that people really needed to hear what I had to say. And it wasn't fair to hoard this information and not have everybody else come up. And I'm going to be honest, and I don't know who this is for, but sometimes you can't get to the path that you're trying to get to, or the destination that you're trying to get to, because you're not willing to take other people with you. And that was a big revelation that I had. And now some people could trade by themselves and make it big by themselves, but God made it very clear to me that that wasn't going to be my path, and that I had to take other people with me. And so that's what I'm doing, hopefully.
You are. I mean, I already know, like, you're crushing it. You're tapped into a lot of different things, right?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
The world's changing. We're doing Forex. Something I want to ask you, just your opinion. I have people come to me and they say, listen, I like Forex. It sounds cool, but like, I'm super scared. It sounds scary. Why do you think that is? What would you tell them?
Okay, so why I think it is number one, we've been taught as a society, but especially women, to hide from the numbers, or, I don't want to think about that. I'll just let whoever handle that. I'll just let my job handle my benefits and my finances. I'll just let, and we really haven't been taught that responsibility. Like, even most of us have been taught, at least go finance a car, or at least know how to pay a cell phone bill. That's something standard. But to know about finances and to know how the economy works regarding finances and our fiscal policies, that is not common. Even I would venture to even say in school, in social studies and economics, we weren't taught that.
No.
Nobody had a meeting with us on monetary policy and how to look out and how our company, I mean, not company, how our country does imports and exports and how that impacts the gross national product and domestic product. We did not have all of that.
Mhm.
And so I would tell a person to, number one, why are you scared and what is it that you need to face within yourself? And number two, turn on CNN and you'll see Euro JPY going across the screen after Apple and after Amazon. And people, I want people to be aware that the foreign exchange market is way bigger than the stock market. It's trillions of dollars bigger than the stock market. And one thing I was thinking about is, Apple releases their products every September. And do you guys think they're just releasing them in the United States, or do they have to exchange the Australian dollar for their Apple their Apple products?
Right.
And how does that contribute to the US economy when we have an American made product that people around the world are buying? Those are the exchange rates that are going up. So I just try to find, and every day I just try to think of simple examples to give people. But just turn on CNN, you'll see Euro JPY going across the screen, and then you'll feel better, right? And then the second thing I would say is, but you said, what would I tell people and why do I think people are afraid? I think I answered. Did I answer?
Yeah, for someone who's new, just getting into it, like
Someone who's new, you literally are a part of history. And in Dubai, they already teach trading curriculum. And a lot of, to their children.
I'm telling
To their children. A lot of wealth is in Dubai, and a lot of it are brokerages. For banks and hedge funds, they own the brokerages that the banks and hedge funds trade in. And so trading is a part of the curriculum. And so what I would say to people is, number one, are you a forward thinker? Are you a leader? And it's okay if you've never led anybody, but do you think like a leader and you're in the right place? Because we are literally a part of history. Like this is, you can look around. I get so excited, like, oh my gosh. But can you imagine if our grandparents had the access, right? Or the knowledge or the know-how to get involved in something that only was set apart for a certain type of person and a certain net worth of person. That's what I would tell people. I would say, look around. Do you want to be a part of history? What is it that you're really afraid of? And is your current life working for you? And do you feel something pulling you? Because if you do, it's probably to here and you're probably in the right place.
It's true. You feel that intuition, whatever you,
yes,
God, it's calling, the door's open.
Yep.
Walk through it. You just got to walk through it, right?
Yep.
Can't make
you got to enter the trade.
If you don't follow Christina, you don't know who she is yet. You will. But I swear, seeing that during the week, it triggers in my head. And it's been really helpful the past few months. I noticed, like, I don't hesitate. I used to, people that I have in the mentorship, some of them that aren't seeing results yet, I'm asking them how many trades they're taking a week. And they're like, oh, I haven't entered a trade. I'm like, ever? Well, I did one a couple months ago. I'm like, you got to enter the trade.
You got to enter the trade, babe.
You can't win.
You can't win if you never entered the trade. So, yeah.
I feel you. I love it. And I'm so grateful. So I want to touch a little bit on crypto, because that's the world's moving there. And I feel like you're pretty tapped in what it's happening, right?
Yes.
Is it too late for people? Like, I know a lot of people are like, no, it's happening. Is it too late?
Is it too late? Let me ask people, if you had got into Bitcoin at 5,000, would you have been too late when it hit 60,000? Or would you have been in the right place at the right time? That's what I want to tell people. Oh my gosh, it is never too late. We are early to the game. That is why I said earlier, you are in the right place. We are so early. We are so early. And I wish I was one of the people who got to invest in Amazon when Amazon IPO'd at $9, I wish I would have gotten to invest in Tesla, and it's not too late to invest. But the point is, we're early to the game, so anybody who thinks it's too late to invest in crypto, you are actually early. You are actually early. Last night, an educator on our platform said, guys, some of the best coins haven't even been released yet.
I believe that.
That was amazing for me. I was like, oh my gosh, we're in the right place. And so think of, if you ever feel like it is too late, just remember, over like only 5% or 2% of the world understands or knows about crypto right now. So you're early.
That's, I think, because we're so lucky to be in this mentorship, this academy. It's not just Forex. I just want to, obviously we have crypto. There's so much more to it. And it's funny because before the mentorship, I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about Forex. I didn't know anything about trading. I didn't know anything about crypto. And it's so mind-boggling to me that a lot of the world is who I once was, right? But it's possible to gain all this knowledge and to move forward.
Yep. And to improve your family's life. And the cool thing is you can earn while you learn. So the things that I've been able to do just still while learning and being a student is stuff that I couldn't do with my job. You know, it's just been amazing. I'm just so happy.
I'm so grateful, Christine. I'm going to ask the last question. For someone that's new, who's curious about getting into this space, but again, is nervous, what would you say to encourage someone into this mentorship?
I would honestly just tell my truth. And my truth is, I was that kid who didn't make good grades. I was that kid who was always, you know, looked down on for asking the same questions. But it's really, honestly, when I found trading, I found a part of myself, and maybe that's what you've been missing. And I would say to a person, are you afraid because you feel like you don't understand? Well, you're definitely in the right place to come and understand, because we have classes 7 days a week, you know? So it's not, I think when a lot of people are afraid, it's really rejection, and they don't want to mess up, or they don't want to take the time to learn because maybe they were taught that they had a learning disorder, you know? And it's like, no, none of that here. All of it, I got a blank slate when I got into this mentorship, and I took advantage of it. So I would say, if you ever struggled before with learning or with I'm telling you, it's not the same. We're all like fresh babies, and we all get to just start from step one, and it's so cool. So yeah.
I love it. I resonate with that completely, because again, I walked into this nothing, and Christine, my friend, you have helped me personally before I knew who you were so much. And I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful to have you on my team and in my family and heart. And thank you for hopping on here today and sharing your story. I really appreciate you.
You are so welcome. You are so welcome.
Thank you so much, Christine.
Thank you. Wait, are you going to stop recording?
I'm going to stop recording.